Welcome everyone, it's Evelyn. I have a Divine Masculine Twin Flame read for you. I had a lot of downloads about the toroidal field, which I posted separately, and that will come up in the read as well. So stay tuned. It's a pretty cool read. I spent hours actually trying to receive my downloads yesterday and put them into some kind of format that you can understand. So this is Divine Masculine Twin Flame read. Take a deep breath. Okay, sending you lots of love and healing, guys. If you should like anything from me, if you'd like a session, if you'd like your cards read, if you'd like a song from my CD, Ashes, Twin Towers to Twin Flames, all my information is below. My website is twinflames3344.com, and please do like, share, subscribe if you like the content, and share the video. It's important to spread the codes so that other people can get triggered to their own activation of codes. And my music can do that as well. And hopefully you'll appreciate the music as well. It's voice and piano. And yeah, and thank you all for joining me and for all your likes and shares and subscribes and your comments. It really fills me up to be able to share with you guys. And so thank you for being here. So the read I did yesterday, well, first I'm going to show you the picture of the main read. This is the SIRIAN STARSEED deck. It's the main deck for the read. It is a 7-deck read, so if something doesn't fit, don't force it to fit if it doesn't resonate. And it is for the Divine Masculine, so it's going to affect the Divine Feminine's Masculine as well. So, and yeah, there's maybe another picture I might have to show you today. Let's see. Okay. So yesterday, I don't usually remember my dreams. Most of my psychic downloads come during meditation or during my reads, or definitely when I'm awake, okay, in a meditative state. I'm what is called a spontaneous channel. I get downloads as I'm doing my thing, as I'm talking, which is why I like doing cards, because it relaxes me to allow the flow to come. So I remembered a dream yesterday morning, and very rarely do I remember my dreams, but even more rare do I remember a dream with my twin. And so I remembered a dream with my twin yesterday morning as I was waking up. And it was very interesting because I was corresponding with someone before I went to sleep about 9:18, because that's the date of my birthday. And when I looked at the clock when I woke up, it was 9:18. So I opened my eyes to wake up, and then a friend called who's got a really great energy. And yeah, I talked to her for over an hour. And then I was guided to the hornet's nest again that's on my house. And the hornet being a spirit energy, right? So what is the hornet's energy? So the hornet's honeycomb represents the heart chakra and life's sweetness, it said. Sacred to Kama, which is where Kama came up. Kama is Sanskrit for love, and that came up in the post that I just did for my downloads. So Kama is in Sanskrit, so it's symbols, and I'll show you that again in this reading. But the god of love in Hindu, and epitomizes Eleusinian mysteries of Greece, honoring Demeter and Persephone. And that was from astromatrix.org. From primalastrology.com, the hornet was coming up as driven, persevering, and self-sufficient, powerful creators of their own destiny, self-assured, get what they want regardless of the obstacles in their way, and a sign of curious extremes balanced by two signs, Cancer and the Dragon. Powerful on the outside, fragile on the inside, self-assured yet full of doubt, highly independent yet driven by need and to be loved and respected. Spend most of their time right in the middle, though, living what may seem on the outside a fairly average life. Two sides agree they are irritable from foolish, not from, but they get irritable from other people's foolishness or injustice, the incorrectness, without showing it. They're an idealist with strong opinions about how the world should be, to point of being able to envision how much better it could be if they were in charge. The hornet mainly is positive, but can fall quickly into moods. Highly temperamental, but avoiding showing it. Wearing a mask so they can't be accused of being cranky. Yet, they can spit out passive-aggressive quips as a warning. They are not offensive unless necessary, because the hornets are not, they don't attack unless they are attacked. My trash cans are right below the nest where the hornets are, and they haven't bothered me at all, actually. So not offensive unless necessary, and keep those not in their inner circle at a distance. They want influence to get what they want, but also for respect. But they won't tell you straight. They will subtly sway you toward their ideas. If it fails, that persistence will slowly increase as passive-aggressive arguments, where then their goal becomes obvious because it's coming out what they really want. And that's at 11:25, which is Justice and the 25 of the Knight of Wands. And yeah, and then my brother texted me, my brother Jim, who lives on the opposite coast. I'm outside Philadelphia, and he texted me from his new home in Washington near Canada. And he must have been nostalgic because he was going through some old pictures. And one of the pictures he sent me back, which I'll show you, it's a terrible picture of me, which is I don't like to show it to anyone, but it's my picture with Bruce Springsteen when I was in college. So I just wanted to show that to you really quick because there's a message from the picture. So my brother texts me this stuff, and it's so weird that he sent me that picture because I never think about that picture. And in the last week or two, I was looking for it. I'm like, where is that picture? Because when I got the picture, you couldn't scan it in because we didn't have that ability at that time. So now you can scan the picture in. I could, touch it up because the coloring was bad and, all that other kind of stuff. So I could make it, look a little bit better. And I couldn't find it anywhere. I have a black and white copy of it, but I couldn't find the original. And there my brother sends me a picture of it. I don't know if he has my original because I only had the one picture, or if he had a picture of my picture. So I have to ask them that because he might actually have the original. But it was so weird that came up because it's like we're manifesting very quickly now. I was looking for it, and here my brother sent it to me. Okay? And this is a picture, from I was 18 years old. So the hornet can be rather inflexible when they feel their idea is better or right. And with love and friends, they're protective, loving, and supportive, but not unconditionally. Things must be equal in their eyes, deeply connected to loyalty. Close friends and family are of maximum importance to the hornet. Friendships fairly simple, like those who like and appreciate their company and don't irritate them on a regular basis. Impressed by wealth, power, status, though would never admit it, appreciation goes a long way. Don't need to be revered, just some recognition for their contributions. In return, you are loved, protected, and given as much of the world as their hornet has to give them. To a friend in need, a friend indeed, as long as they can do it their way. And I did it my way. So Frank Sinatra was coming up there too. Often gifted, which is so funny because the Kama symbol, which I'll show you in a minute, turns out as a gift. Often gifted and lead, and must know why they choose a certain career. So it's not about how to get there, it's why. It's very important, which is the right way to look at it because that's the more intuitive, heart-based way. So 1138 is Justice and the Queen of Cups. So then from astrologyweb.com, the Old Testament came up of God chasing adversaries out of the land of Canaan in shamanism. The seeds of the hornet, because the hornet's in the Bible a lot, the seeds of the hornet among them until those you fear perish. So it was basically, you know, that they'll use the hornets to chase the bad people away. And that was coming up from Deuteronomy 7:17 to 21, Exodus 23:28, and Joshua 24:12 were referenced there. So I started my read. The SIRIAN Starseed deck was cut and dealt at 11:46. 11 is justice, 46 is the Six of Cups, the children in the garden. And I finished this read at 12:21, right on the dot. 12:21, and here we're talking about reflection, and as I'll show you, Kama, the symbol for love in Sanskrit, and its reflection to itself. The major arcana for this read were transition, chariot, reflection, karma, solar deity, and strength. Transition is death, chariot, reflection is the hermit, karma is judgment, and solar deity is the sun, and strength. There's a lot of major arcana today. After the read, because I always pull a few cards on either sides of the read. After the read, we also had Indigo, which is the magician, abundance, which is the empress, and Starseed, which is the fool. So we had 9 altogether. That's a lot. I rarely get 6 major arcanas in the main part of the read, let alone 3 more in the extra cards. So we had 2 swords, 1 wand, and 1 cup. The only court card in the read was the Page of Wands, the Page of Wands. After the read, the King of Pentacles came up with those 3 other major arcana. And the numbers in the code line were all about karmic completion, happy endings, and healing and change. And we only had double ones in the reading. So the 1-1 is justice. And some of the other numbers, 56 was important, which is the 2 of Swords, that being in your knowing and keeping your energy clear. And so 15 of the Devil also coming up. And in a lesser sense, 13 of the transition or death card. And then 68, which is the Page of Pentacles. And then 89 in a lesser sense, which is the reflection of the human body temperature, 98. So that, for me, references going too high or too low, like freaking out or getting too cold. So the code line here about karmic completion, happy ending, healing, and change. And a lot of letters were covered on that message. So we'll get to that too. First thing in my code line, Einstein came up. And that came up in my downloads as well when I looked online. Einstein came up, but it wasn't in an Einstein header, you know. So the code line number was 6 from 5 and 1. So that also references the 51 of the King of Swords. 5 is Hierophant, 1 is the Magician. And 6, of course, is the Lovers. And so Einstein, the code line about karmic completion, happy ending, and healing and change. The number 221 also came up. And 8639 wanted to be brought up as well, 8639. So Einstein came up regarding the number 5, the Hierophant, or expansion, change, and freedom. And so acing the soul, or solace, was coming up, and then quantum solace comes up. Of the Chariot, which is the number 7, the reflection of the feminine within the masculine, and then of course James Bond comes up with quantum solace. The Elohim, the Sophia, and toggling up to the Christ. The 5, O Sole Mio, was coming up, and sealing the 7, the reflection of the 2 in the Chariot. And then it was showing me to reflect the number 7, which if you reflect 7, it looks like the hangman, right? And then if you flip it vertically, reflect it, it's like a J. So that's very interesting. And then also, you know, my brother Jimmy had just called as well. So nostalgia was definitely coming up. Also, Mary Magdalene, Sophia, Thoth, and Jesus were coming up together as the number 5 of expansion and souls. And being so I am presence, being so much in your I am presence, and acing the Chariot, the feminine within the masculine, the number 7, and the reflection of it. So here it's so important about the reflection, since we finished the read at 12:21, and here's the 7 reflecting. I reflected the symbol of the Sanskrit love, the Kama, so I'll show you that as well. It came up to a very cool picture. So ESPN was also coming up which is Entertainment and Sports Programming Network, because ESTN came up, which was coming up as Shanghai Scaffolding and Formwork Network. It's also a quote-unquote shaders website, enhancing the colors of your game. It's also electron spin transient not mutation, but nutation. Electron spin transient nutation. And that's very interesting because later on I went in to investigate about the atom and stuff about the atom, and they talk about the spin as one of the 4 parts. And then it also comes up as abbreviation for estimation and embryonic stem cell test. EIST also comes up as Eisen, EISEN, and also means to freeze, ice, axis, AXIS. It means iron, hour, AIS, which equals ribs or laugh. The axis is also referencing the back. EIST also means a sharp, a mantelpiece or shelf. So again, ribs, it's interesting that ribs came up because it came up in regards to Adam yesterday and the day before. So here ribs is coming up again, and also to freeze or to preserve things. And also mantelpiece and shelf have to do with shelving something, right? Putting it on pause, which came up yesterday or the day before rather. And so ESTN also was coming up as ES, which is my initials, which is Spirit's way of showing me it's the Divine Feminine Trade Network. So the Divine Feminine Trade Network or Transition Network. The freeze or the pause, and here they're relating things again to the word. So the freeze relating to the pause, axis relating to atlas, right? Because the axis and atlas are together, they support each other. The ribs and the meat on the ribs, the shelf and what you display on it. The rack with the balls, because we brought that up in billiards the other day. The rack and the balls. The iron and the core. And then I was getting freeze frame. So what is it what is a pause, right? What is it that supports the 0 point? And Spirit was just connecting with me. The freeze frame is the picture, which is why the picture speaks 1,000 words. And the jam was coming up because I just brought up the difference between the jam and the dam. And the jam is a vertical construct that supports a man-made thing, whereas the dam was something that slows something down so you can deal with it. You're trying to slow nature down to actually take it all in. It's kind of reminding me of when I first saw the Grand Canyon. When your eyes first see it, it can't take it in. It's overwhelming. It's like a needing to freeze frame in order to give you a minute to acclimate to it. So this now is a moment in time. A picture speaks 1,000 words. So I looked at that picture that I showed you of Bruce Springsteen and myself, and he's wearing Town and Country Cycle, Westwood, New Jersey, and Bruce Springsteen's a Libra, and I'm wearing Penn Charter, which my little brother went to Penn Charter, I didn't, but Penn Charter was the shirt I was wearing, and I'm Virgo. We're in Virgo now. So a picture speaks 1,000 words. So I took this picture was when I was 18 years old. I didn't know where I was going or what I was going to do. And here I am wearing a Penn Charter shirt, and I worked at Penn, at University of Penn Hospital for 25 years. And also charter is chart her, like charting out my life in order to get to this place. And then his shirt had Town and Country Cycle, and it's obviously talking about motorcycles, but here we're talking about the cycles of life in the twin flame journey. And then Westwood came up, and my first friend and best friend that I met in college, who left after 2 months, was from Westwood, LA. And so I'd spent some time there with her. So all this stuff was syncing. It's just showing you how this picture that you took from a long ago can explain to you. And also you notice in the background of the picture, there's 2 or 3 palm trees. You can't quite see the third palm tree. There's 2 palm trees, but I think there's a third there because you can see a hint of it. So it's that second to third energy coming up, and the palm trees, which I bring up in my reads all the time. And over to the right of the picture, I believe is a flagpole. So here's a pole or polarization on the side of the picture. So it's just showing you how a moment in time can speak 1,000 words. And then Bruce Lee was also coming up here. So ESTN, the name Edelston was also coming up because that was the name of the person with the shaders program for colors of the games to enhance the colors. And then Edie was coming up from Ed and Edie. And Edie was a name in the movie I saw last night or the night before. And then I Dream of Jeannie was coming up. And the names Ed and Albert, as in Albert Einstein. So Ed, Eddie, Edie, and Albert, and Uncle Albert were then coming up, and Einstein. And of course, James Bond came up. So all those, and my brother Jimmy called yesterday. So those may be people that you may have been in touch with recently. And so we go on. It also reminded me, the picture was taken at just outside my dorm because the dorm I was in, I was at Arizona State, and the dorm was Manzanita, which means evergreen. And there's actually a line in my song, Evergreen, never seen, from my Cristo Sophia song, which I haven't published yet. But the Manzanita dorm was right next to the football stadium, which is where the concert was when Springsteen came. And of course, Springsteen, being from Philadelphia, he was much bigger here than in Arizona at the time. So literally, my friend and I sat out, we cut classes that morning and sat outside the stadium waiting for them to show up. And there's literally 7 people there when Bruce pulled up in a station wagon, which was pretty cool. But I'm sitting there right at at the stadium next to my dorm. And so Manzanita comes up in evergreen again. And the stadium where I saw the Who, Love Rain on Me, which I bring up all the time. And, oh, that's funny. I'm just getting to that the stadium in Arizona is built on those rock mountains. So you can actually climb the rocks from the outside of the stadium and kind of peek through the seats. So, and I'm getting a relationship of that to the toroidal field, which is very cool. Like the empty spaces that I was talking about in the video that I just posted. The space between, right? So the flower of life, between the flower of life, there's space between that and the next. And that's what I'm getting. So, and that has to do with the grid, the electric energy in the empty space between the grids. So I was getting again to break down the words that came up, right? So we had karmic completion, happy ending, healing, and change. Only in karmic completion, the K was covered and the COM was covered at completion. And in happy ending, the HAPP was covered, and healing, the H was covered. Change, nothing was covered. So Armic has a lot of different definitions. K for me is energy. But Armic, ARMIC, has 2 parts, right? It's the arm and the IC. And IC literally is 99, which we always talk about compassion with that. But it's also the moment before the 100. Like, why would you want to be the 99 when you can be the 100, right? Because that's the new cycle. And there's a lot of God's source energy backing up that 1 of the magician. So the 99 is IC, as well as it means chili, eye, and wedge. And it also, so that what I was getting is it means the water is chilly, or in other words, chilly emotions. And we were just talking about freeze frames, so we're talking about putting things on ice, preserving them. So water chilly, so the water is cold to preserve, emotions are cold to preserve things. And it was also coming up as the poor me. The bar, or the limb, a limb like an arm or a leg, and the wedge. And then the miserable 99 were coming up as the IC. The arm is the limb or the armor. It means poor, scar, mercy, peace, love, pitiful, miserable, bar, beam, water. So those were all the definitions of arm. And so what I was getting was from the 2 together. The chilly water, the poor me energy, the wedge of the bar or the limb, and that's like the thorn in your side, and the miserable 99, right? Being too compassionate, right? Not loving yourself first, like allowing other people's woes to take over your life. So that was coming up from the karmic. And then the K in front of that, it's the energy of drain, right? Draining energy, karmic. And then completion, the calm was covered, and calm is common or like something else. It also means pitchfork, which you always assume is the devil's pitchfork, but it's also a pitchfork is a tuning fork. It also means breast, chest, trunk, stomach, so the midsection. It also means water and glass. And then pletion comes up as a dispute or lawsuit, connection with plate, dish, bowl, or platter, so kind of like your head on a platter. And then the Y was separated from happy, and then Y ending. So that was coming up as the 0 point ending, and why, asking the question why as opposed to how, or how do we get there. Use the question why at the Y in the road. And then we have the healing. The H was covered, and H is the number 44, which is Atlas. I do talk about the 10 of Wands being Atlas, because in the Tarot, it is the weight of the world upon your shoulders. It is the Atlas. But in the numerology book, the Divine Triangle, the 44, is the weight of the world upon your shoulders, because the double numbers are considered power numbers. And actually, that was the number of, what's his name? It was right on the tip of my tongue. Oh, Edgar Cayce. So Edgar Cayce is a lot in the book, as well as Pythagoras, because they're involved with the Divine Triangle. And if I remember correctly, Edgar Cayce's destiny number is 44, and my life lesson number is 44, which is why I was always kind of drawn to Edgar Cayce, because there was a similarity there in numbers. So it has to do with mastering the 44. All the double digits it's like they require twice as much from you, but they give you twice as much in return. So the 44 is not just 44, but it also reduces to the 8 of the infinity. So the eeling was coming up as an electric, I was getting the electric eel, but then the only thing eeling comes up is a borough of London. And I was just getting the werewolves of London. So then change is replace, transfer, exchange. It's also change, as in coins or small money. So the HAPP means good luck or a stroke of good luck, and the H being that Atlas energy, the weight of the world. It was very interesting how all this came together. So the compassion is the lesson for us to be in it but not of it, right? Don't allow the karmic energy to drag you down, right? The poor me, the miserable 99. Don't allow that energy to drag you down, or in other words, love yourself first. It's not about sacrificing you for others. God puts you here for you to experience you, not them. All right, so then serving your head on the platter, and then the Y ending, Y end, ing, and then London Bridge, and London Bridge is falling down. In the triangle, oh, and then Bermuda, the Divine Triangle, the Bermuda Triangle. I wasn't getting that before, but now I am. All right, because that's Bermuda's English. So, and I've been in Bermuda. It's very interesting. I very rarely travel with my dad. But two of the places I traveled with him, the first place I flew ever was with my dad when I was 14 to a conference he had in Key Largo, which after that time burned down. And we went on a boat out in the coral reef about 5 miles off the coast. So very much getting into the Bermuda Triangle. The Bermuda Triangle extends from the Keys to Bermuda to Cuba, or Puerto Rico, rather. And I was at a conference in Puerto Rico with my dad as well. So now I never made it to Bermuda with my dad, but he went there with my mother, and I've been there several times with different people, including my children. When I was there with my children, we went on a glass-bottom boat into the Bermuda Triangle. So it's very cool how I've been at all three corners of the triangle, and my dad was at two of them with me, who's no longer with us. But so there's some kind of connection here to the Bermuda Triangle. So energy that resonates, flows, lifts, and lightens the load, transfers to the portal or through the portal in a stroke of luck in a dance of weight of the world, or atlas, and coins. And the coins was coming up because coins is another way of spelling Kohan. And I always bring that up as the Kohans or the co-pilots. So that comes up here. In the dance of the weight of the world, the atlas. Atlas, my love has come along. So that was coming up. And then the Hans was coming up. Since the Kohans were coming up, co-pilots, the Kohans. Usually it's Han Solo for me from Star Wars, but now the Hans from the Hans Dynasty was coming up. The Han Dynasty, because I just researched that the other day and presented that to you. So when I looked up Han Dynasty, one of their inventions was the suspension bridge. So they're talking about bridges here. London Bridge is falling down. The bridge of the Bermuda Triangle, the 4D Bridge, the Anticarana Bridge, the Rainbow Bridge, right? All the bridges that we're talking about. So what's known about the Han Dynasty is the suspension bridge, the one that sways and flows with the tide, right? Also was invented the wheelbarrow, paper, and deep drilling. And also the Han, I think, was the dynasty I said had built most of the Great Wall. So again, there's connection there, but they're bridge builders. So the Han, the co-Hans, or the co-pilots, the Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine, are coming up as bridge builders. Han literally means river, duck, ginger root, ear, inn, like at the inn. It also means arm, hand, wing, branch, and haver, which is very interesting because my old gymnastics coach, his name was Mr. Haver, and he was like a second dad to me. Haver means a possession, credit, a buddy or pal or partner, to have, a comrade, associate, and it also means oats, sowing your oats, haver. And these are all things under Han. But haver is also someone who haves, right? They have. Also, another Han came up about the bridges. Hans Ulrich, Grubenmann, and Johannes, of the same last name, were Swiss carpenters and bridge builders. 1758 bridge, the Limmat or Limat River, and I was getting limit for the name of that bridge. 1758 bridge, this over the river Wellington or near Zurich. And it was the first timber bridge to employ the true arch, right? The rainbow, the bridge with an arch. So cool. The suspension bridge from the Hans and the other Hans from Switzerland created the arch. So it's the suspension bridge and the arch were very important. And the stuff I presented to do with the flower line represents the arch of the sine wave. So co-Hans, 2 rivers, 2 sitting ducks, 2 ears, 2 arms, 2 branches of the family, 2 hands, 2 wings, 2 havers or havers, to have and to hold, buddy old pal, sowing their oats together. So today is all about reflecting the other side. So I start the read out here with the transition card here, with the mini clarifications on top. And beneath the transition, there's a lot of noise going. There's some public property across the street from me because there's a little bit of woods right there, and they're mowing, so it's been really noisy. And I just saw another township truck drive by. That's funny. So we start out with the transition card upright at 218. 2 is the High Priestess, 18 is the Moon, and it's 3407, just so you have a time. It's around 34 when the read starts. So below transition is the 8 of Wands reversed, 6 of Pentacles upright, the 3 of Wands upright, and the 9 of Pentacles upright. So death, end, transition, after a heated exchange, or delays in sharing or settling out, presence, or present to sovereign, presently single, or flames arrival. And it's funny that I didn't realize the present came up there because I have to show you still that symbol of the Sanskrit word kama. All right. So transition through the portal. Awake, reaping rewards, looking at what wasn't working, or someone may have retired, or overworking or not working, or not working or overworking is just not working, and the wounded warrior pulls their weapon on the King of Wands. In a divide, a split, a lie, or in cutting through the BS, or needing clarity, holding it over their head to get more money out of them perhaps, or alimony. At the workplace, hands are tied, sovereign dumped or dumped on, purging, overwhelmed, and the Page of Wands reversed is frustrated with happy ending, rainbow bridge, or happily ever after at night, getting over it, loss, regret, and the past expectations of what life would be. So this is going back to, being nostalgic, back to your childhood and old memories and what you thought life would be. Up in arms about dogs out again, or having to get up before dawn to let the dogs out, and actually finding it's emotionally fulfilling for you, or a nice nightly walk with the dogs, or just by yourself, over the idea of the perfect or ideal family at night, or the sound of music, or somewhere over the rainbow, or half days and nights. So someone might be like splitting their kids half days and nights, and actually where they were so worried about not seeing their kids all the time, now are understanding and appreciating that time to themselves, where they can really, give to themselves so that they're more whole for their children. No longer sad at night, destined to be schooled in Akashic records or homeschooling, where the worst is over with the Page of Pentacles reversed and the Page of Swords reversed, which can be kids or messages. If they're messages, they're negative messages. Or just negative self-talk, right, and needing help. They could be kids who need help with work or getting ready for school or something they want to learn. And driving lessons has been coming up all week. True love comes up here after releasing your ex for the Divine Masculine. The Queen of Wands reversed, no longer undressing or trying on new boots, or judgmental reversed. The jury is out, deciding whether to be kind or not. Present to romantic tie or flame, and the King of Pentacles, superhero, and the Emperor reversed, no longer stunned, or trophy wife, no longer getting all the light. Chassé plie, it's coming up as that reflecting, right? The King of Pentacles moves one way, she moves the other. He reaches out, she covers up. Or afraid if he tries to reach out, she will feel intimidated by him. Or the Emperor reverse is abusing their power, or out of sorts, or a parent who's not well. The King of Pentacles upright and the Emperor reversed, with the same red cape, but they wear different crowns. The King of Pentacles is naked and revealing, and the Emperor reverse covers up down there and likes matching fashions, pumps, ties, and is romantic. Or if playing the Emperor, he has to cover up, but not when he's the King of Pentacles, which can be a loving father role. But again, that's dealing with business as well, because it's Pentacles. So forgiveness is 96, and beneath that was manifestation, which is number 8, being strength. And 96 is the reflection of 69, which is that Ace of Pentacles, the offer of a new life, perfect contentment. So the reflection of that is forgiveness. That's what it's coming up as. So in order to get that perfect contentment, you have to forgive not only others but yourself, and be strong in manifestation. Losing patience or no longer patient, resting, break, time out, meditation, and the 5D focus on heart, breaking patterns and rainbow bridges. As the King of Wands is tearing it down. This is why London Bridge is falling down was coming up. It's breaking down bridges in order to rebuild the ones that weren't stable to begin with. Holding back an announcement or piped in music of angels dancing, or picking up an old trumpet or bugle to play with, swallowing their pride, or the Emerald Order is shelling out a lot. The Emerald Order, shelling out a lot, or looking through old treasure box or chest. So again, nostalgia is coming up here. 2 is the High Priestess, and 51 is the King of Swords. 251, dumping old stuff or family dysfunction, old letters, or deliberating with how to proceed after loss of funds, family, or a large purchase. Writing a message or trying on a wig, or kids or dad are playing dress up together. A reenactment, perhaps, of costumes of old Halloween or masquerade balls. The old turtle, Jesse James, or waste of money, so slow, with broken wings, or Starship Enterprise. Or the class clown, the court jester. funneling resources, and notice resources has source in it. Funneling resources, sliding right on through. All those times he could have just tapped into his intuition, or feeling stupid to let the strange character guard the treasure. Feeling slower to catch on than even a turtle, or using the Page of Swords child to funnel through ideas or money. The Page of Swords is oblivious, and here the Page of Swords is upright, but the rest of the read they're reversed. The Page of Swords is oblivious to what's going on behind them, and the Sagittarius reversed and Aquarius reversed, perhaps messing up or screwed up with the King of Wands on top of it. The Page of Swords, or message, or news, perhaps news of a death or an ending or a transformation or transition, and being over it. The Page of Swords reversed, now in negative self-talk. Or a spy for the Emperor reversed, and forgiveness. That's funny because it says for the Emperor reverse and then forgiveness. So the Page of Swords may be over the negative self-talk, but also may be over being a spy for the Emperor reversed. The recent past is the Ace of Swords reversed, divide, split, lie, and insistence of clarity, the truth and the whole truth. The Ten of Cups, end of an emotional cycle, perhaps a happy ending, with the world or this emotional cycle complete, or whatever happened to the happy ending and whatever happened to the sealed divine feminine. Go fish. Heartbreak in exile as Justice, Divorce, or Libra, tripped up or forced to drop their facade and break a pattern. The Lovers and the Devil, or their shadow side, the synchronicities showing everything like a game at the arcade. The ring toss, trying to win a prize. The Knight of Pentacles reversed, too preoccupied to play catch with the dolphins. Truth waiting just below the surface to play, but neither are up for it today. No game of toss with the dog or cat, as the Lovers and their shadow sides in synchronistic display, orchestrated and harmonized just for him, to make time stand still and wait for him for a change. And wait for him for a change. The day that time stood still. The day the earth stood still. This always reminds me of Rocky Horror Picture Show, because they quote that in the movie. The day the earth stood still. I'm trying to remember the lyrics from that, because I used to know. So the foundation here is the Five of Cups reversed. Over loss and regret of the past, with dreams healing and shining bright, knowing and guarding your heart of two minds. And that's funny because the twins are literally the heart of two minds. The Queen of Wands reversed and the Queen of Swords upright, speaking out about Atlas and the weight carried by two swords. The angel and the devil on each shoulder. Or Aquarius star with a bad temper. Or bossing you or ordering you around. Acting without a heart, or without using their heart. The central energy is the Ace of Wands reversed, with no passion, no inspiration, no arousal, growth, or control of their third energy, which I'm being corrected again now is the first energy, not the third. That was one of the downloads I got the other day. And the Page of Wands reversed is over it, with the Knight of Wands reversed presently fighting with Aquarius, or the Page of Wands reversed and the Knight of Wands reversed are not talking or exchanging at all with each other at 3:15, which is the Empress and the Devil. At 3:16, which is then brings the Tower in, or the Knight of Wands reversed is acting as a buffer between the Page of Wands reversed and Aquarius reversed, who also has fire in their chart. The challenge being the Chariot reversed, the state of emergency, chaos, broken car, breakup, down, through, or break in. The Wounded Warrior, Fire Empress, with Taurus, Aquarius, or Scorpio, or Pisces. A child or with child, and pleased with themselves, and boredom, connected to the journey. Two, grounding and integrating offers, or receiving multiple offers of love or friendship, this Empress. And the Wounded Warrior, Fire, Aquarius, Taurus, or Scorpio upright, may be jealous of Empress, who could be Pisces upright, Cancer reversed, Virgo reversed, or Capricorn upright, or the Hermit reversed hiding behind the Devil, or Capricorn waving, and the Queen of Pentacles reversed and Queen of Cups reversed, unstable at home or moving, visiting, or dealing with a divorce. And they could be grown children of a divorce as well. But they could be two people at work as well. Now, in the crowning position is reflection reversed, or the Hermit. No longer reflecting, and again, this read is all about reflection. No longer reflecting, or the Hermit reversed, trapped, offering time, money, and effort, and on defense, or the Hermit upright, or defending themselves against their own reflection, presently watching and waiting for someone to leave to relight their torch, the flame as a message, formal in nature. An end to the battle, or let the games begin. Losing battle with the King of Swords reversed, you can't win against yourself. Hiding from chaos and sovereign, or Virgo reversed, Cancer reversed, sovereign, messenger of truth, or two teens, or independent kids, or chariots broken over the river Kwai. The King of Swords reversed and Hermit reversed, and the Hermit reversed and Chariot reversed, or accident where the Queen of Pentacles reversed and the Queen of Cups reversed, are now home safely but still shaken up, or lovers meet in a car bump, or broke down. Sovereign and the Knight of Swords, perhaps Virgo upright or reversed, or Cancer reversed, or Gemini upright, Sagittarius reversed, and Capricorn upright, or driving lessons, or bought a new car, or the Ten of Pentacles reversed, family, business, or community is moving impatiently in need of peace in a split, divide, lie, or a need for clarity, or to cut through the BS. Lovers or close family not sleeping or rising above the cost or the loss, or over jealousy, insincerity, and the moodiness of fallen angel or Sagittarius reversed, refusing to be silenced. So they're speaking up. So I wanted to go back to the, what came up here? Oh, over the River Kwai. So whoever's fighting the River Kwai was when the prisoners were forced to build a bridge, and so the head American, I forget whether it was a general or not, but he decides to, if he's going to do something, he might as well do it right? He wanted to be proud of his work. So he works with the Japanese, not knowing the Americans are planning on, blowing up the bridge. So that's the kind of the energy that's going on in whoever's fighting here, building a bridge just to have it blown up on the other side because they really don't want to bridge the gap with you. Or the people building the bridge aren't on one side or the other, but there are sides here involved. So satisfaction or arrogance here, coming clean about withholding sex, or the inability to control their penis or their hand, touching butts and coming together, or with group present to the connection, and the secrets out and walking away and within. A group may be announcing or holding back, or coming together to deliberate about whether 1 to 2 people stay or go, or whether the open business, or whether to open the business or stay closed. Or as a group comes together, 1 to 2 feel left out, in exile, homeless, injured, or ill, with only their dreams, or going to be healed as bird takes off for the stars, or naked but covered up all at the same time. Or the bird is guiding the injured and or divine masculine on where to go, or just leading by their own example at 346, which is the Empress and the 6 of Cups, the children in the garden, 46. So soon as karma reversed, so again, here's reflection. We have karma and karma reversed, just like we have retrogrades in the planets. The 347, the Empress and the 7 of Cups, the synchronicities and the choices. Good news after grounding and integrating, boredom leading the way to co-create or to the workplace, delayed or negative exchange, no announcement or further delays, and the 10 of Pentacles, family, business, or community, losing money or dysfunctional with options, or seeing synchronicities, or shopping online, or pissing away the Hermit's money. And the Hermit reversed, or Knight of Pentacles reversed, is guarded about spending while they're not working, or they may not be sleeping. This could be a Virgo reversed and a Scorpio reversed, or rising above the inability to work, being still or being on strike with family or business, or layoffs going on. or stubborn Scorpio, Virgo, air, resisting changes or options to bridge from the old to the new connections, delays in choosing or done going back and forth and found the one, or final jury deliberations where they can't come out until they're done, they're sequestered, or a sit-in. He sees himself as the solar deity, the sun upright, sunshine, energized, kids, and exposure, coming together to share or settle out at night with the Empress in divorce or break from the norms, or with Cancer upright, and Taurus reversed, without options, in need of peaceful place away from the kids, or away from the sun, or away from exposure, or in other words, needing shade. And that's funny because that person's program came up as shades. No option but divorce or to break from tradition, group or friends supporting, no traveling or safe return, or celebrating kids' safe return or a kids' party without peace until they have one, or giving presents or coming together to help those without, or shopping with friends. Heart-to-heart conversations, express your love, attraction, and you deserve love all came up for the masculine. You are lovable. Or settling out, or you may be settling out with kids present, maybe something in substitute for not being able to have a party. Around the divine masculine, or how they are seen, is the Page of Wands reversed. Frustrated, sick, or devilish news, dumped or dumped on, in the dumps, dumping syndrome, or purging, crying, vomiting, or sweating, or peeing too much, overwhelmed, coming clean, getting clean, or cleaning up their act or space, using frustrations, or a child is angry while outing, or the child is crying, could be angry too, but crying while outing themselves about something bad that they did. The King of Cups reversed, letting go to repair things with the Emperor reversed, or Page of Wands reversed is in the middle of them, coming clean. One is crying and the other one's pissed at 414. 4 is the Emperor, 14 is the Temperance card. But I believe that was reversed in this read. The King of Cups may be sensitive and the Emperor reversed maybe pops his lid, or the King of Cups is pushed to their emotional limits and lets everything blurt out in front of the Page of Wands reversed and or Emperor reversed, or two grown men blubbering to each other, one wants love and one wants a new passion or sex. At 417, which is the Emperor and the Star, the challenge is the Six of Swords reversed, with no peace, with the Ten of Pentacles reversed, family, business, or community, and their foolish behavior and or stubbornness. So before I turn the next page, the word kama came up, that means love in Sanskrit, but I also looked up the other meanings that it came up with, and it means to brush hair, wedge, dagger, bed, to milk, sickle, scythe, to cut away. Human, man, person, breast, water, orange, tangerine, love, stuff, product, and product has to do with a slang term regarding illegal drugs. It also means longing, desire, wish, and room. So all of these things regarding love. Love isn't easy, right? So, and love is a battlefield, which is coming up. So karmic completion comes up and happy ending, healing, effort, and change, but even more so for the Divine Masculine is communications. The Knight of Wands reversed, no longer rescuing or falling short of true love, holding back true desires in a one-to-one strong connection. Weak and in need of strength or courage, or to tame their beast, in ego death or Leo reversed, or death, dark night, and transition through the suffering and silence, or the sleepless nights, being up stressed to get to the other side of the bridge, the Two of Cups. Putting it out there to join forces, but choked, or holding back announcement to the Ten of Pentacles reversed, or coming together with Aquarius reversed or Virgo reversed, which could be someone with a lot of fire in their chart as well, Leo, Sagittarius, Aries. And the Ten of Pentacles reversed in exile, or left behind by a star, dreams, healing, or two cups of love. The King of Pentacles, Akashic records, secrets out, walking away and within, insecure or without the tools, weak from a negative past, fallout with a soulmate and our kids, or Pisces reversed and Capricorn upright, Gemini reversed, Virgo reversed, and Leo reversed, with Indigo reversed and Empress upright, and Starseed reversed, or their foolish behavior. So someone falling on their face from grace or lacking faith or refusing to use their intuition with the King of Pentacles, who may be insisting on it. Or Leo, Sag, Aries reversed with King of Pentacles upright, and Gemini reversed or Virgo reversed, Taurus upright and Aries reversed, or the King of Pentacles with fire in their chart, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, or all three at once, rises to the top as the angels sing, Atlas holding the weight or the rock for him, parting the seas. I was getting seers too, so I don't know if seers is having issues. Parting of the waves. So parting of the seas or seers, a stroke of luck. Heated exchange or delays in settling presence or gift for sovereign or gift of being single in transition and over it, exposing all to or as the Page of Wands reversed with the ace, two aces reversed, with the Ace of Swords reversed and the Ace of Wands reversed, frustrated in a split, in need of the whole truth and new passion or inspiration, and challenged by chaos, break, stuck, deliberating without peace. The Hermit reversed or sequestered, with Leo reversed or Aries reversed, and the King of Pentacles upright with Indigo reversed, and Empress upright with the Fool reversed, with the King of Pentacles ending up on top. Transition through a split, a lie, or with news and over it, frustration of being isolated and challenged by the state of emergency, the breakdown, break up, break through, or the break in, the canceled move or trip. Exposing all in karma reversal or withholding important information, or the Page of Wands reversed may be in court. There could be a child who got into trouble for doing something. Or the Page of Wands, that can be an adult who acts like a child as well. Or the Page of Wands reversed without peace. As Leo, there could be two Leos or one. If I say upright and reversed, it could be one person showing their positive and negative aspects, or two separate people. So there's a Leo upright, Leo reversed, Aries reversed, Aquarius reversed, Gemini reversed, Virgo reversed, Scorpio upright, Cancer reversed, and the battle of two Tauruses, one upright and one reversed. Or someone is playing Battleship, and the King of Pentacles won. All right, so that is the read. I actually pulled a couple energy cards right after that read, and the first card that came out was the 49 of the Angel of Love from the energy deck. It just sailed right out. So the Angel of Love, and the next two cards came out were the 48, the Angel of Balance, along with the Man Holding Their Heart, which is 45, or the grieving card, the 5 of Cups, and getting over it. So the underlying energy was coming up as was Metatron, the 6th chakra, and number 40, which is the Page of Cups, that innocent love. It's the underlying energy of the power of love, of Metatron, and how the Angel of Love just sailed right out, and then the Angel of Balance was there to help support the man holding their heart. And that could be two kids too, the Angel of Heart or Love and the Angel of Balance. That could be two children as well, along with loving yourself first. So I'm going to pull an energy card, but I did want to show you that Sanskrit again. So these are just the doodles that I was doing when I was figuring out what needed to come up regarding the two infinities coming together as event horizons coming together, that Magenta Pixie had said is the Tetragrammaton, and something to do with the number 4 and the sacred square and the foundation of something that was a real thing in space, which for me was the toroidal field. Again, with the four-leaf clover coming up, and the flower of life and the Celtic cross. And it was confirmed the other night when I was in bed, because they showed me to look at my fan, which has 4 arms on it. So the right here is so this right here, this top part is Kama, which means love in Sanskrit. And I reflected it down here, so it's just this part. So it's one line across with 3 lines down here, and this line becomes like a 4, but it's got a little curly Q here. And then there's just one blank line here, and then this last line, which has like an incomplete infinity. All right, so there's 3 lines. So we have 111, as well as pi, because we have the cover here too. And then the S, which is the Sophia energy, but also the incomplete 8. And the 4 energy here. And if you reflect them upon each other, this is the reflection, and then you push them together. Sorry, I keep moving my hand. If you reflect them down here, this is the symbol, this is the reflection of it, and you squish them together, they literally become the three-sided building, which came up in the Machu Picchu ancient ruins, the three-walled building, and the other building had the three windows. But here's the three-walled building with the infinity symbol, and literally this ends up being a gift, a present, see, with the little bow on it. And it's also the number 8, but squared. So here's the circle, the feminine 8, and here's the masculine 8 in squares. So how cool is that? So you have 11 in that symbol, you have pi in that symbol, you have 114 in that symbol, the S, the 4, 2T, 3 T's actually. And it's like a merry-go-round too. I was just noticing. Yeah, so let me know if anything else comes up for you. Very cool stuff. So the stuff I was researching with all of this stuff, the shapes were coming up as the circle being the feminine energy and the square being the masculine energy, which made it just so clear just now when I was showing you the 8 and the 8. One on its side being the feminine energy in the circles and also representing the toroidal field, and the 2 infinities coming together, because the number 8 is an infinity. The 2 8s coming together, or the 2 toroidal fields that come together, the 2 event horizons that come together at the 0 point is the tetragrammaton, the 4 circles, which I showed the 4 circles in a square on my other video as well. The sacred square, which for me is the diamond, and the foundation of something in real space is obviously the torus, or the toroidal field. So you can see that other video if you'd like, but I'm going to pull you an energy card before I go. And where are we? We're at 101.46, which is 101. Yeah, 101 is like 2 magicians and the, what did I say? 46? 46 is the children in the garden. I think that's what I said. I just went to 1-2, which is the masculine and the feminine. All right, so for everybody watching, the best and highest good of all is concerned, what do we need to know? What do we need to learn today? Today is August. What is today? Is it the 26th? I guess it's the 26th. What is the takeaway from this read for everybody? What do we need to know? Let's clear all negative energies across all dimensions of time, space, matter, and reality for the highest good of all is concerned, and fill that empty space with only beautiful divine love and diamond crystalline light. And so it is. All right, we have, look at that, so perfect. There's your bridge, the rainbow bridge, right in the middle of it, right at the 0 point field. So cool. All right, that's the number 2 of the high priestess and the feminine energy. And then we have the 17 of the stars, the 2 running together, the 2 polarities coming together to merge and take action. Okay, at 0 point in the middle of the bridge. It's like, what's her name? And Steve meeting in the middle of the bridge in Sex and the City. That's literally that. And then, look at that. And then you have the happy family with the rainbow bridge again. The number 4 of the Emperor. Now the Emperor was reversed in this read, so there may be some families breaking up, but I was getting happy ending anyway. The 10 of Cups was upright. This is like a combination of the 10 of Cups and the Emperor. The Emperor's reversed, but the 10 of Cups is upright. So the family might be okay, but the Emperor's perhaps dismissing himself from that. That could be someone retiring as well. And then we have the Sun. Perfect. Beautiful energy, guys. Number 1 is the Magician. So we have the 1, 2, the 4, and the 17. And the Emperor can represent, you know, the country. It can represent powers that be. So it can be the Magician and the High Priestess, the masculine and the feminine energy. The 2 horses or stallions running together in black and white of the 17, shining their light. And then the happy family, that all's well that ends well. And here's their time in the sun. Okay? Just taking time out for themselves. And again, the pause was coming up the day before yesterday. So we're in the pause. We're in the day the earth stood still. Really cool messages coming up. In the bottom of the deck, the underlying energy is the world, taking it step back to see the larger perspective, the big picture, right? So in the etheric realms, perhaps taking a step back and seeing the earth. The Gaia is our chariot and is carrying all of us, so we need to take care of it so it doesn't break down, so it gets us to where we're going. 29 is the Three of Wands, being present to the moment. And he's standing on a pier. He's standing on a pier. Appearances. He's making an appearance in front of the world. Someone's making an appearance in front of the whole world. And it's like the dark night before that. You know, like when you have a speech the next day and you're really nervous. It's like that. Someone's appearing for the first time in front of the world. And you notice the world is half dark and half light in this picture as well. I never really noticed that before. Showing both their shadow side and their light, and getting ready, like from a very deep place to do it. That's a very cool message. These are the 4 cards that came out. I'm going to show that to you again. The bridge, the 2 polarities coming together in the rainbow, in the middle of the bridge, in the suspense and suspended animation, the day the earth stood still, in order to hang out in the sun together. Oh, it's like in the movies where they, you know, the bad guys or the good guys, you know, freeze frame so that they can do what they have to do while everyone else is frozen in time. That's what I'm getting. It's like time out for the masculine and feminine to spend time together. Very cool. All right, so make sure you drink your water. I didn't drink enough water yesterday at all. Drink your water, get your rest, get your joy, get your nature, and just love all parts of yourself. Be good to yourself. And rise and be love, you guys. See you soon.